welcome to another episode. And today we have the light being Roman with us. Say hello.
Aloha, welcome from the light.
I just had to get you right in this angle because it's so you. Oh, now there's a train. Can you still hear me?
I can hear you wonderfully.
Yeah, good. It's like, yeah, I know this, but I'm gonna say it as you said yourself. It's like, yeah, you're like sunshine, and yeah, now you're actually sunshine. You're shining from your head physically, almost.
No, usually I shine from the other side.
Okay, this is a thing. I mean, this will probably be more like a conversation. I will just have it recorded, and then I can see what I want to do with it. But it's so funny because something you should really know about. Yeah, I was about to say about Roman, but actually kind of about me as well. He's kind of funny, if you couldn't tell already. And I just get goofy.
I think being goofy is like the real essence of our bodies. Like we want to be goofy, we want to have fun. Our soul wants to express fun, and whichever way is better than being funny and having like goofy fun. It's like a fun that's like no filters. Like no, I can't be this because I'm in my head. Like no, this is not what people do, right? So being goofy is living in the moment.
So there was a truck. I don't know if you could hear it. No, you couldn't. Yeah, good.
I couldn't hear the train. I couldn't hear the truck.
But that's good to know, actually, because I know sometimes when I have recorded and things before, I've had my headphones on because I can hear better when I have the headphones on, and I can focus more. Now I don't have the headphones on, and apparently you hear me better. So
I hear you really good, yeah.
Yeah, that's good to know. Sorry, just continue having fun.
Having fun is all I can do. Like this is seriously our soul's mission. Like if you're not having fun, like what? I mean, I mentioned this to you at one point. Like there's a song. It says all you need is laugh. But if you don't laugh, I can't laugh without laugh. It sounds maybe weird, but it feels so much more like myself. If I'm not having fun, if I'm not smiling, then life is just beating you, and I don't want to be beaten. No, yeah, I want to laugh I want to keep shining. It's like, yay, feel the love and share the love, spread the love. You know, we're all being light beings. Like seriously, like there was a guy that made a research, or like not just one guy, but they made a research that we are exactly the same particles. We are made out of the same particles than the universe. So this is the same. We are the same. Like we are the same. Look at the sun. The sun is smiling, right? The sun is not shining. She's smiling. Yeah, she is smiling for sure. It's like wonderful. Right now I have like the sun behind me, but I have the reflection on the tree, like from the water that you can you can see the water on here too, right?
Yeah.
So it's like all the beautiful things, and it gets like so nice, warm on my back. It's like, yeah, because I can still see my breath, but I can't. I mean, I can feel my fingers though, but
yeah, and I'm actually I actually went outside today because I really felt like it, and I was like, oh, I think it may be actually too cold because it was so cold tonight, and it was pretty cold when I was walking the dogs. But then I was thinking again, and I was like, no, I have clothes. I can bring out the wool things. So I'm sitting on a wool blanket, and I have a wool shirt on, and I have a wool poncho on. So it's like, and then I have the sun on my back. So now it's really cozy. It's just my feet that's cold. So I packed them into the wool blanket.
But I heard your feet are like temporarily or usually colder than all your body parts, so it does not really change.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
like cold hands and feet are like kind of the standard for me. When I actually get hot fingers or hot feet, I'm like, yeah, what's wrong?
Have you ever tried like to shake the blood into the fingers
Yeah,
or
I've
into your
tried
feet?
it. Doesn't work.
Doesn't
The
work?
only the only thing that can like slightly work is if I use like my medical laser or um the red light on it right before I like go outside, because that usually likes bring the blood flow a little bit more. But it doesn't always work. I think I'm just this way. I mean, I can get cold hands in the middle of the summer too, so it's just, and I'm not cold then. Just have cold fingers. So
It's like my niece Jessica. My God, yeah, it's my niece Jessica. She has the same, always like cold fingers and cold hand, and then she always
yeah,
like tries to sneak her hand somewhere. It's like go away with that, and she just giggles. She just giggles. It's
yeah.
so
It's
fun.
so funny when you actually have those cold hands. It's so funny to just go up to people and like just a simple thing of putting my hand on their cheek, and they're like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah. And for me, it's like so the opposite. Like for me, it's like every time I put my hand somewhere, and the people are like, "Oh my god, your hand is so hot." I mean, usually I'm not putting my feet onto somebody else because I'm usually standing, but yeah, my hands are like
Yeah,
that. And I don't know if this is because of the energy work I do, but even if I don't do it physically, like the hands are always warm. I'm just like
yeah. That's
you know,
the strange thing with me. Actually, when I do energy work, they're still cold, and people can feel the warm energy when I do the energy work, but the hands are still cold. So I'm just like, yeah, I guess I'm not standard in that way either.
well, welcome this.
Welcome to the club.
You gotta embrace your uniqueness because otherwise you would be one of these regulars, and we don't want to be regulars. No offense again, but regulars are just regular. I don't want to be a regular. I want to be espresso. I want to be like strong. I want to be special. I want to be extra.
Yeah, me too. I want to do what I want to do. I want to like be my whole self with the power I know I have in me. And people may look at me funny or think I'm in my own world, in my own world. And then I've just decided that yeah, if people think I'm in my own world, yeah, let them think that. I like my world.
Yeah.
I don't want to be in the world they're in.
Yeah. I mean, we have all the same, like technically we live all on the same world, but theoretically, like every world is so different because the world that
Yeah.
you are living in looks so different than the world that I'm living in, or than the world that couple billions on this planet live in. Because sorry to say, but the most people are just, they don't listen to a kingfisher bird. They don't go to nature. They don't see the sunlight. They're like working in their cubicle. They're living their life as they think. They
Yeah.
hate their life. They despise their life. And then there's like a Xalia coming and says like, hey, you know what? You should go live your life. And then there's this freaking German Russian. He says like, oh, you just keep smiling. Life is not like this. Oh, life is like this. Tell me. I can tell you so much more against. It's funny because right now I'm having the shadow in front of me. Usually I only have the shadow behind me because I'm usually facing the sun. So you always
Yeah.
keep the sun. And this is also a thing that most people are not aware of. The power that we all have is in our shadow. Most people don't realize it because like there's something that I think, did we start talking about this already at one point?
I think we did privately. So
Okay.
just bring it on, because we didn't talk about it very much. We talked about it, we touched on it, and was like, yeah, I believe the same thing, and then we just moved on. But I think this will actually be something that's really valuable for people.
So what my opinion on the shadow work is that all of our power that we as humans have, or as soul partners, the power that we have is in the shadows, because life and society brought us to neglecting those things that we personally have. And people said like, oh no, Roman, this is too much. So what did a little Roman learn? To fit into order to society, put it away. And everybody of us is guilty of doing this. We put like things that we are afraid into the shadow. So, and then we are like afraid of our shadow, that people say, but actually, if we go into the dark side of ourselves, I mean, in the movies, they even talk about the dark side is actually your good side, because once you bring all these things up and you force them to go through it and feel all of your emotions, feel all of your feelings, your little hurt child, your little child that was too much, the child that was afraid, the scary things that happen to you, everything is in there. But if you are scared of things, they will always scare you. If you're facing them and you will be like not scared no more, then you're reaching a light frequency, then you move up in the energetic level and you feel so much better in your own personality. Because like sometimes like people ask me, how is it possible that you're always happy? Well, because I face all of it. I don't like it. Well, guess what? I have to do it anyway, because I don't like it, like to come back after, I don't know which time, like 14 years later down the line, and then there's like something, and I will explode because I have not resolved an issue that was in my past before. Like, no, feel it, accept it, realize it in a moment. You don't have to feel and suffer for a long time. You will suffer maybe for a short time, because it's something that is uncomfortable for you, because there was a reason you put it into your dark side. But just go through it and live your life. Accept it, go through it, face the sun, and life is just getting so much simpler, and life is getting so much easier. Yeah, I can go on this, but I just
Yeah,
want
I
to let
love
you
to
know.
hear this because
I just,
it's so important. And I mean, people like to just shove everything away. And I mean, I've been that way. I've just bottled things up. I mentioned that in the first episode, and it doesn't work. You just get miserable, because if you just shove everything away, it's still there. And it still affects you, even though you're not consciously thinking about it, it's still there. And if you're actually like facing it, you can let it move through you, as you said. And if you let it move through you, you can process it. And you can let go of that emotional burden that you would have if it was just stored in a box somewhere. It's so powerful to actually face those things. And no, it's not easy. It's not easy at all. And sometimes maybe you can like sense that you have a box there somewhere and you have no idea what's in it, and you actually don't even know how to reach to that box. But I mean, you will be able to open that box and process that when you're ready. You don't have to be afraid of it. You have all this other stuff that you probably have also like just stuffed down. And just take it one thing at a time and just accept it. And then you will like, you'll for every time you do this, you will feel a little bit lighter. And you will feel like something has really lifted from you energetically. Or you can even feel it physically in your body, because everything is stored in your body as well. You actually brought like a kind of a good analogy when I was just curious about the like difference in Reiki healing and other healing forms, and then you you just mentioned like just the visual of realizing that all those things are like crystallized energy stuck in your body, and that hurts. And I feel that, yeah, that's a part of those boxes. And it's actually stored physically in the bodies. It was just beautiful to think about, because maybe you don't like really want to acknowledge boxes you have stored away. You just want to forget about them. But if you think about it like crystals in your body, then you can't really ignore that. Because yeah, they're beautiful and but as you said, it actually kind of hurts if you have a whole body full with crystals. And I mean, you can be a crystal being without having crystals in your whole body. And you can be a complete human being without having a complete storage with just boxes and boxes and boxes of stuff you haven't really faced. And just because you faced them, that doesn't mean like, yeah, they will disappear for all eternity. No, they're still with you. Of course they are. But they're not weighing you down. You can think about it like, yeah, instead of being stored in boxes, maybe they're stored in like, I don't know, up in the cloud. So you can like download it if you want to and look at it, but you don't have to actually carry it with you all the time. Yeah. Just let that sink in a bit. And it's time to take action on your life. It's time to take action to actually move forward. There's so much more to life than carrying around all that shit. To be frank, there's so much more to life. And yeah, maybe you're thinking like, yeah, that's easy for her to say. She doesn't have anything that's bothering her. But yeah, of course I do. I've not faced all my stuff yet. That will take some time. And there will be new things that comes up. Of course it will. It's life. And it's easy to just like push it away because you know there will actually be more. But if you think about it like boxes, it's like, yeah, you don't just want to keep stacking boxes. You want to actually sort through them once in a while. Also, you don't want to just keep adding and adding and adding and adding. It's like, even, yeah, I'm a person who likes to keep like sentimental things, but I'm also not gonna keep everything. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna choose some valuable things from earlier in my life that I want to keep, but I don't actually want to have all. Think about it, like if you were actually saving everything you've ever had in your life, like physical things, after a while you won't even be able to move. You can't look out. You can't see the path in front of you because there's so much stuff. It's the same way. It's the same way with like energy stuff. I love to like picture that in my mind and like just translate it. If it's hard to grasp, think about it another way. And then you'll get it. Because I can't really think about a good analogy right now, but say if you have like marbles, for example, that represents things in your life, like physical marbles. And then you have that also represents all the little thoughts and all the little things you say to yourself in your brain all the time, just because you haven't faced them. They won't disappear by themselves. You need to acknowledge them and consciously shift the way you're thinking and speaking. And you're gonna slip up. Of course you're gonna slip up. But you're working on it. It's like if you have a pouch for all those marbles, you can't fit how many marbles in it. I mean, you can fit like, you have a limit. And if you like just keep pressing down marbles, it will just explode. Then you won't have a pouch, so you will have to like carry them with you. And they will drop all the way wherever you go. They will influence everything in your life. And if you're in that state now, then you just have to create a new pouch. You have to create a new pouch. And then start the new practice of processing things, and the new practice of talking to yourself, the new practice of thinking about things, the new practice of doing things a certain way. Maybe you can actually replace all those marbles to a couple of precious ones that actually fits no problem in that pouch. This is the way my brain works. I'm so visual. And I want to share that with you. Because this really is the way for me to help you evolve and for you to be better. Not just for others, but also for yourself. This is a part of why I started this podcast. This will be like kind of a journal of my life and of my journey of learning more stuff. But also, I want to teach you what I already know. Because I want to spread that awareness. And that's the amazing thing with me connecting with Roman, because he thinks the same way. He has the visual mind. We can speak to each other. And if you can get me, you can get him. And if you can get him, you can get me. So, yeah. Let's just continue this journey together. And please if you have any questions, just write it in the comments box and I will get back to you, or we will get back to you. Maybe we will bring like a question onto the podcast and to give our view, to maybe give you some ideas. I would love that. That's also part of my soul mission. So please don't be afraid to reach out. And Roman, do you have any like last thoughts or something you want to add?
All I want to add is thank you for saying this. It was a beautiful transmission that you just gave, and everybody listening to it, listen to her words, feel these words, accept these words, and take action with this. Like, your life is deserving it. You are deserving it. So I was so much looking forward to this connection with Xalia, and we do this podcast together and doing so many other things. And if you have any questions, as he said, just reach out to us and we would gladly assist you in answering all your questions. Maybe not all your questions, depends on the question though, but you get it.
Yeah, thank you. And I'll just have to say, press the like and subscribe button to actually take part of this again and to show your support. And we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.